Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AMHQ Weekend. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday, the first weekend of March. I'm meteorologist Kelly Cass.
And I'm meteorologist Jaqui Jeras. And for Reynolds Wolf today, I had to break out the sweaters and the puffy
30s.
jackets back this morning.
It's very cold in the Atlanta suburbs for sure, but of course cold enough for that snow in the northeast, and that's where we've been seeing some problems. Just a little layer of snow out there on the roadways, and people think they got this.
I know.
If it's not going to be a blizzard, you know, just go on out and drive your normal speed, but unfortunately you need to slow it down where it is snowing. Right now, Milwaukee, Chicago getting a little bit of snow, but it's all about that sunshine along the East Coast.
Oh yeah, and the cold temperatures as well. We've got frost and freeze advisories and warnings which are in effect from the northeast down to the deep south as well. High fire danger with that dry air coming in on the south side of that warm front, but a little moisture down in Texas.
We need to take that rain in Texas and just kind of put it up in here, right? Over Oklahoma with the wildfires and brush fires going on, and above average temperatures, by the way. And what a difference.
Considering the record warmth that we had earlier in the week, Atlanta hit a record high of 80 degrees on Wednesday, the earliest it hit the 80-degree mark in 20 years. So we do have freeze warnings in place. It includes Atlanta, Greenville, Charlotte, Columbia, and Augusta. These in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. Our growing season started early this year, and they're issuing advisories like this 2 weeks earlier than normal because of that. So any plants that you had outside, did you get any of that spring color out there already? Hopefully you brought that in. If not, try and bring it in or cover it up. Let's take a look at temperatures right now. We're down to 29 degrees in Nashville, Charlotte below the freezing mark as well. Atlanta 38 degrees. You haven't seen 32 or lower since February 10th. I don't think we're quite going to get there, but a lot of the suburbs certainly will. As we take a look at the forecast highs for today, dry air in place, so temperatures starting the day cool with all that radiational cooling, but the sunshine is going to break out and that dry air is going to heat up pretty quickly. So we'll end up around 61 in the ATL, Meridian at 69, Memphis pushing the 70-degree mark, 58 in Charlotte, and 64 degrees in Savannah. Take a look at tomorrow morning. It's still going to be another cold one, but that cooler air is going to begin to retreat just a little bit as high pressure dome continues to shift in from the west and spread over towards the East Coast.
So you're wondering how much above average are we in the west, where it is, of course, rainy, snowy season. This is the time of year we get it. But of course, when we compare to years past, Jackie, we've been lacking it big time.
Absolutely. And boy, we're making up for it this year for sure. Our snowpack is nearly 200% of normal. So the numbers are just really incredible. And when you look back at the last 2 years in particular, what a dramatic difference that we've been talking about. So we have some really cool images we want to share with you.
These are shots from space, NASA showing us these pictures. Here's your Sierra snowpack. Back on March 1st, 2015, we were only 21% of average. So this is a good vantage point right here, but keep an eye on the trees over here behind me, because this is going to show you that this is the exact same vantage point as we go through the years.
Right. So we take a look at 2016. We've got a little bit of snow out there, so it's some nice light cover, but not a whole heck of a lot. You can see the snowpack down here, but take a look at present day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So this is the exact same picture from space around the same time of day as well. It just shows you how much more snow we have on the ground and on the mountain peaks compared to the last couple of years.
Yeah, and we've got more levels are going to be dropping down. They're going to be lower this go around as that cooler air begins to move in. So those snow levels are going to be dropping down to about 3,000 feet, we think. So pretty incredible. It'll be a tough go of it through the passes. We've got winter storm warnings, which are in effect once again. Winter storm watch into parts of Oregon as well. We could see some snow dropping down even into the Portland area before the weekend is over. So an unsettled weather pattern is setting up once again. We'll see rain into the lower elevations, the snow into the higher elevations with that onshore flow throughout the day today. So it's going to be another cloudy one. In fact, the National Weather Service in Seattle has been joking about the weather. They said basically the sun is canceled over the next couple of days. I thought that was pretty humorous. As we take a look at the satellite radar picture, you can see that little swirl out there into the Pacific. So our storm still offshore, and this will be ongoing through the weekend and continue into the early morning hours onto your Monday. So timing it all out for you. There you can see that rain and snow spreading inland. And I think the worst of this next event is going to be coming in late tonight and throughout the day on Sunday. We're going to see some gusty winds to go along with the rain and snow. In fact, over some of the ridges into the Sierra, we could see some of those gusts around 60, 70 miles per hour. So not necessarily good news. Also some some concerns about the levees there, and San Joaquin County in particular. They said people should be ready to evacuate if they need to do so. Fire crews are battling a 3-alarm fire in Pasco County, Florida on Friday. Winds gusting to 25 miles per hour quickly spread the brush fire as it consumed at least 50 acres. The sheriff's office went door to door urging residents to evacuate. Officials say the fire is now 70% contained and evacuations are voluntary. The fire threat is elevated across much of the east. We've got a very dry continental air mass in place across the nation's midsection and the southeast. Humidity is extremely low along with our dew points. In fact, look at this, the forecast 2 o'clock this afternoon with humidity down in the 20 to 25% range. So that's critical, and that goes along with some dry fuels in place. So any wildfires that may be developing could spread very easily. You don't want to do any outdoor burning there today. You don't want to do it in the Plain States here either. Take a look at the outlook area for today. Critical around the panhandles of Texas as well as Oklahoma into parts of Kansas and into New Mexico as well. Our winds here are going to be a little bit gustier, so we do have the critical conditions here, but you really need to use a lot of caution. In addition to no outdoor burning, if you're a smoker, which you know you shouldn't be doing anyway, make sure you really extinguish those butts. Don't stick them out your car window today. So what does elevated mean? That means that brush and grass fires can steadily spread. Small fires can become very easily out of control. In critical conditions, fires start very easily, spread very rapidly, and they may be very difficult to control. We're not in the extreme category here today. That would mean that fires start quickly and spread very furiously, and fires may be unmanageable. There are 25 new large fires yesterday across the country. One was in Kentucky and one was in North Carolina, so areas you may not necessarily expect them. Those are almost done already. I've got the cherry blossoms are out here across parts of the southeast, and as we take a look at the reason why, because our temperatures are so warm. It's been above average much of February. In fact, many cities across the east had the warmest February on record. So you can see this covers a large majority of the country. Only the Pacific Northwest is seeing those temperatures below average. So with those warm temperatures, the pollen is out, the trees are budding, and things are blooming. You got to be careful because we got this little bit of cold snap, which is in place right now. But we really want to focus in on the southeast where the numbers have been the highest. And if you focus in there, you can see parts of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, especially right along the Gulf Coast. This stretches back into parts of Texas as well. And you're even seeing stuff there into Tennessee as well as into the Carolinas. So let's take a look at the early leafing area. In fact, frost and freeze warnings are being issued this morning 2 weeks ahead of time when they typically do it because of this early leafing. Even St. Louis, just south of Kansas City, Oklahoma City, and Dallas all seeing those leaves beginning to come out. And here's the freezing temperatures as we overlay it this morning. So notice this includes parts of the Tennessee Valley through the Ohio River Valley, West Virginia, as well as into North Carolina. So this is the area where we could see a little bit of damage as a result of that. Any of those blooms which are out there could get frozen and fall off early, but doing okay into the central plain states where the temperatures are just a little bit